what's happening? I see you. Do you see me? Hey, guess what? It's spring. Happy spring. Welcome to Miss Adaria's story time here in the lovely basement of the Bridgeton Public Library. I just want to say thank you, a big shout out and a big thank you to everybody who participated in our Maker's Day on March 20th, and to also let you know that we have a couple of craft kits left. So come on in and get them. You can work on them in your own time, and you can watch our Maker's video that we made out of our live and pre-recorded sessions on the different crafts that we presented for you guys. So come on in and get your Maker's crafts while supplies last. So being that it is newly spring, we are going to read some books about spring today, and I hope the spring gives you a spring in your step and a song in your heart, because it always does that for me. I love spring. I think it's probably one of the best seasons out of 4, but I do love all 4 seasons, don't get me wrong. Don't be bummed, winter, I love you too. So we're gonna read this lovely book called Mouse's First Spring by Lauren Thompson, illustrated by Bouquet Erdogan. Oh yeah. So let's just jump right in. Mouse's First Spring. Look at that beautiful picture. The butterflies are happening, the daffodils are up, the tulips, some daisies. I see a birdie on top of a bush. Don't you just love spring? You can open the windows and let that nice fresh air in and see all those cute little flowers. So Lauren dedicates this book to Kate and Nikki, and Bouquet dedicates this book to his dear sister Emnos for all of their differences and her sweet friendship, and to a dear friend Linda for your wisdom and support. He says thank you. Ooh, I'm so excited. One windy day, Mouse and Mama went out to play. So cute. Do you see how this is the window and that's the curtain on the window? That's a cool picture. There in the grass, Mouse found something glittery and flittery. What can it be? Wondered Mouse. Look, it was his first spring. He didn't know. Look, said Mama, a butterfly. Then whoosh blew the wind, and fluttery buttery, the butterfly flew away. Butterflies are pretty light, so one little gust of wind can make them just go whoosh. Then under a leaf, Mouse found something slithery and slimy. What can it be? Wondered Mouse. Look, said Mama, a snail. Look at the snail. He's looking at them and he's smiling. Isn't that cute? Look how big that leaf is compared to how tiny those little critters are. And the blades of grass, they look like trees. Then whoosh blew the wind, and hidey and sidey, the snail hid away. Go right back in their shell. It's like carrying your house on your back. It's so convenient. There on a branch, Mouse found something feathery and plump. What can it be? Wondered Mouse. Look, said Mama, a bird. You see how they're imitating flying with their little arms? Oh, we can fly too. Mice can't fly. Then whoosh blew the wind, and dip, flip, flap, the bird darted away. Whoosh. And they said, bye. There by the pond, Mouse found something green and peeping. What can it be? Wondered Mouse. Look, said Mama, a frog. Beep, 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 beep. Then whoosh blew the wind, and splishy splash, the frog hopped away. There in the dirt, Mouse found something pink and wiggly. What can it be? Wondered Mouse. Look, said Mama, a worm. You think it's an earthworm? Yeah, probably. Isn't it cool how they come out after the rain? You could find them on sidewalks. I always pick them up and put them in the grass. I don't want anybody to step on them. Then whoosh blew the wind, and squiggly squeeze, the worm slid away. Bye, worm. See you later. There on a stem, Mouse found something sweet and petally. What can it be? Wondered Mouse. Look, said Mama, a flower. Where would we be without flowers? What a dull, dull, boring world it would be without flowers, don't you think? Especially in the springtime when they start popping up. Then whoosh blew the wind, and rumply bumply Mouse tumbled away, along with a couple of petals. That's a nice windy day, huh? Then all around, Mouse found something soft and cuddly and oh so cozy. What can it be? Wondered Mouse. I think it's his mom. Smooch came a kiss, and ooch came a hug. It's me, said Mama. Aw, look at that mouse. He looks so happy. Yes, that's right. Spring is here, little mouse, and I love you. Aww. Oh, I'm going to give that an 8 on the mush meter. Yay. So what else can we read here? Oh, we've got so many interesting books about spring and gardening. And okay, let's read this one. It's called It's Spring. It's Spring by Linda Glasser. Cut paper illustrations by Susan Swan. Oh, that's neat. So the illustrations aren't drawn necessarily, but they're cut out of paper. Or maybe she draws them and then she cuts them. So it kind of looks like it has a bit of depth to it. So Linda dedicates this book to Suzanne, a passionate nature lover and dear friend who has shared many natural wonders with me, both large and small. And Susan dedicates this book to Celeste Raspberry, who is a joy in any season. It's spring! Crocuses! I just like to say that word. Crocuses! I run outside in thin pants and short sleeves, no thick heavy winter coat bundled around me. I skip and leap and feel light and free. Fresh air rushes all over me. Look, the trees have just a couple of little buds. If you go outside today and the next week and look at the trees, you'll see the buds on the end of the branches. Creeks and streams are starting to flow. We hear the trickle of melting ice and snow. Then one day, pitter-patter, splitter-splatter, rain pours down. Creeks and streams rush and gush again. Look at all the crooks popping out. I dip my boot in a puddle to see how deep it is. Swish, swish, watch this. Kersplash, it's spring. That dog looks mighty happy because his human is playing in the water. We find tightly pointy leaf buds on bushes and trees. I peel one open and see the tiny beginnings of fresh new leaves. I find some pussy willows. They look soft and sleek. I gently rub one against my cheek. They're so soft. I recommend it highly. The ground is growing soft and warm again. There's a clean, fresh smell in the air. We find tiny, new green growing things everywhere. Animals that slept all winter are now waking up. Earthworms, frogs, turtles, snakes, beetles, ladybugs. You see all those critters in there? So cool. Beautiful turtles and froggies and ladybugs and snakes. One day we spot a robin, then we see a red-winged then we soon see, red-winged blackbirds and a bright goldfinch. Early in the morning we hear the birds sing. They cheep and warble and trill. It's spring! There's the robin, there's the goldfinch, and here are some red-winged blackbirds up in the tree. Birds fly here and there with grass in their beaks. We watch them building nests in trees, getting ready for new families. Squirrels line their nests with sticks and dry leaves, and here in this hole are new baby bunnies. Ducks quack to their ducklings, geese honk to their goslings, all soft and fuzzy out for a swim. That's pretty cool. Must be a lot of work cutting the paper out to make these pictures. Day by day, I watch the flower buds grow and swell. Soon they burst open into bright daffodils, so sunny and cheerful they make my heart sing. It's spring! They're looking at a praying mantis. And the daffodils are doing their thing. Ferns uncurl, leaves unfurl. Tree branches that were bare now have tiny green leaves. It's time to plant seeds. Corn, cucumber, beans, peas, and my very own sunflower seeds. Look at that. He's in the garden with the hoe and the doggie and a couple birds. And he's planting his seeds. It's probably going to take a few months for that stuff to grow. And then he's going to be able to have a feast. The days are getting longer. Now the sun sets after dinner. Outside, we watch the sky turn slowly dark and count the stars as they come out. Then all the spring peepers and the bullfrogs sing, "It's spring!" I happen to live on a pond not too far away, and the peepers are out on these warm nights, and they just peep, beep, 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 all night long. The sun shines longer and the days grow warmer. One day I noticed that the trees are all covered with full-grown leaves. Soon it will be summer, but right now it's still spring. Yep. I blow dandelion seed fluff and watch it float away. Dragonflies dip and dart every which way. I leap in the air. There's new life bursting everywhere. Come out, smell the flowers, hear the birds sing. It's spring. Dragonflies. Okay, well, that was the end of the book, but here are a couple of things I'm going to read to you. It's nature activities to do in the spring. I'll just read a couple. Okay, they say, listen to birds singing. Try to identify some birds by their calls. You could probably do that. You know, if you look, see the same bird, make the same call, you could probably say, oh, that's a chickadee, or oh, that's a finch. Oh, that's another kind of bird. Take the hair out of your hairbrush and put it outside for a bird to use to line its nest. I actually do that. Shh, don't tell anybody. All right, I'm telling you. It's a great way for birdies to make their nest nice and warm for the baby birds. You can collect some pictures of animals like snowshoe hares and ermines with changing colors. Spring is the time that their fur or feathers change from winter white to summer brown. Ermine is kind of like a ferret, and they usually go white in the winter to blend in with the snow, and then they start changing colors when the snow disappears, so they can blend in with browns and grays. Oh, here's one. Visit a stream with a grown-up and notice the ice melting. I don't think there's much ice around here, but you can go visit a stream. There's plenty of those. And you can look for macroinvertebrates. How about at night? Go to a pond or a stream with a grown-up and listen to the frogs singing and the peepers peeping. So happy spring, everybody. Please stay tuned for a wonderful craft. And we're so glad you enjoyed our time together. And don't forget to come in and pick up your craft bags. We do have some left while supplies last. And once again, happy spring. Hey, everybody. What's happening? What are we doing today? Well, I just want to say, first of all, happy April. And April is Earth Month, so all month long we're going to be doing stories and crafts related to Earth Day and nature and critters and all that good stuff. So today, what are we doing? There's so much going on here, I don't even know what to say. What about this? We're going to make a peacock today. What? Yes, that's right. We are making a peacock with our trusty cylindrical tube, otherwise known as a toilet paper roll. Why? Well, because it's fun and it's going to be pretty and you're going to love it. So what you need is a toilet paper roll that I've already painted blue and let dry. I used a half of a paper plate. Well, more like 2/3 of a paper plate, and I painted that green and I let that dry. It's going to be the spread of its feathers because it's a peacock, so that means it's a boy pea bird. And I don't know if you could see this, but peacock is the boy, and then peahen is the female. And compared to the peacock, she's actually kind of boring looking. She's sort of brown and humble, and she doesn't have this big display of flashy feathers because she needs to blend in with the background to protect her babies from being somebody's lunch, and her too. So when she's sitting on the nest and raising her young, she needs to be blending in the background. But he is just on display. Have you ever seen a peacock in real life? You know, you can go to the Cohansik Zoo, and there's plenty of peacocks over there, and there are peahens too. And as an additional bonus, Cohansik has an all-white peacock. And beautiful all-white peacock. I don't know if you've seen him, but he is magnificent. So let's get started. So what did I do? I cut out some felt because we're going to use the felt to mimic the ends of the feathers, of the peacock feathers, which kind of look like eyes, don't they? So what we're going to do is you're going to cut out some felt. You're going to need 3 colors. You're going to need this nice yellowy orange color, a nice teal color, and like a dark blue, I would say, right? A royal blue or dark blue. And each felt is going to get progressively smaller. So here's the big one that I cut out. And then we're going to put a smaller teal color at the bottom of it, not in the middle, but at the bottom. And then we're going to have this little, what I'm calling a Pac-Man, right on top of the teal. Actually, no, it's going to go on top, yeah, on the top of the teal, and then to reveal some of that. So that's what your 3 colors are going to look like. And then we're going to put them right here. And they're going to pretend to be the end of the feathers. So, you know, if you want to, you can come in and draw the stalk of the feather. You know, like going like that. as we go along. We'll see how that works out. But the first thing I want to do is I want to glue all of my peacock eyes, let's call them, together so that they, then we can stick them on the peacock body. So I'm going to come in with the glue, get a little bit of glue going here for the first round. Stick that teal right on there, and then come in with your little Pac-Man. And I guess I'll put glue right on here so I know what I'm doing and how much we need. And then we can place it wherever it needs to be. And I'm going to go up towards the top of that circle. Right? And you can just keep doing that until they're all done. Right, there's something stuck to the, it looks like a paintbrush thing. Okay, here we go. More glue, more glue. I'm going to just put glue on all of these. Boy, this glue is a little hard to get out, so it's good exercise for your hands. So, are your April showers bringing you some May flowers yet? Do you see any of the flowers that are out in April? They're so pretty, aren't they? The crocuses start in March, and the daffodils follow quickly after. And then we've also got those snowdrops, those cute little white ones that kind of bend over, and then they open up to reveal a little green surprise inside. Flowers are so cool. Last year, when we were locked down because of COVID, I started a garden, and I had vegetables and fruits and flowers. But this year, I think I'm only going to do flowers. So we've got all of our 2 colors going so far. Here's an extra set. Just put that over there in case we think we need it. Because that paper plate, half of that paper plate, it's not very big. So once you start getting these on there, it's going to take up some room. So here we'll come in with a little glue on this guy. Put that there. Put some glue on this one. It's like a little peacock eye factory. What? So I just wanted to let you guys know that I am growing plants for a rain garden at Wheaton Arts. Have you ever been to Wheaton? I wonder if you remember when we went to visit on Storytime. When we went to the museum and we went to the glass factory. Do you remember that? Well, right in front of Wheaton, when you first drive in, there's a big circle of grass right in the middle, right by the front gates. And what Wheaton is going to do is transform that circle into a rain garden. And how they're doing it is the organization CU Maurice River. Do you remember them? We took a canoe trip with them, with Carla and Peter and Glenn, and we went out on Menantico? I will never get that right. Menantico Pond. And we took a nice canoe ride. Well, anyway, CU Maurice River has been promoting rain gardens in people's backyards and at different places, and they did one at a nice church in Millville, and they're doing one at Wheaton Arts. And so we're growing plants to put in that rain garden, and we're growing them right here in the library. There's maybe I'll just put some pictures up on Facebook page if you want to check that out. Just little baby plants. They're partridge peas. That's what the plant's called. It's really cute. There's also black-eyed Susans and ironweed, which is another flower, and something called dotted mint. And that's a little tiny flower too. And all these flowers attract beautiful pollinators, and they also are native, so they don't need a lot of rain. They don't need to be they don't need to be watered probably more than they get from the rain, except at the beginning when they're first starting to grow. And they all live upstairs in the old part of the library on 2 big sunny windows. And they're growing really nicely. We put them in the ground, I guess, about February 28th. And it's been almost a month because we're filming this at the end of March. And these little plants are just coming up so beautifully. And I can't wait to plant them because I'm actually going to go to Wheaton and plant them. I get to raise them and plant them. So I feel like a plant mommy. So here we're going to go in with our, let me just make sure I got some room for the peacock body. So this is going to be like the neck and the head of the peacock right here. You see how that's going on? And then we're going to come in with our feathers. So what I think I'm going to do is, and I didn't see this on the craft when I looked for this on the internet, but what I think I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to cut this, and you'll see why. I'm going to cut this probably a little bit off center, and then I'm going to cut another strip right next to it. And then I'm going to use this and kind of slip it into the toilet paper roll. So it's going to look like that. I think that's a good idea. It just needs to be cut up a little bit on the other side, otherwise it's going to lay unevenly. Does it look like it's about right? Yeah. So that's going to be the very last thing that we do, is put the neck and head of the peacock onto their feathers. But the first thing we're going to do is glue these guys down and give them a chance to set a little bit before we put it all together. I'm going to put that one right there. That looks good, doesn't it? And see how this is kind of like I'm calling it a stem, but it's probably not the right term, of the feather. And you could do little feathers if you want to, like that. Because that's what a feather looks like, doesn't it? It has all those little mini feathers on either side of it. Have you ever really looked at a bird feather? It is very cool. And it kind of interlaces together. Because instead of hair, birds have feathers. And do you know that it's a theory that's pretty widely accepted that all birds used to be dinosaurs, or they evolved from dinosaurs? I mean, look at a bird's feet. You see that? It's kind of scaly. It's kind of reptilian almost in nature. So I could see how they would evolve from dinosaurs. Here is our second peacock feather. Eye. Isn't that pretty? Okay, let's see. The body's going to be like right about here, so we have room for one more. So I'd say we could put them down here too, because you see how he has shorter feathers that end in the eyes, and kind of like rows and rows and rows of these. We actually can't do that here, but we could, maybe pop another one in that area. Okay, let's see. These are sticking together pretty well. Okie dokie. There's another one. Another peacock feather. Can you make up a song about peacock feather? Another peacock feather for you today, because it's so pretty. Have you been to the Cohasset Zoo? I hope so. It's such a wonderful place. I really miss doing our zoobrary. I hope that comes back soon. I miss Keeper Allison, and I miss all the critters. But you can go and walk in the zoo now if you want to, because they opened a while ago. But I miss reading stories there with Keeper Allison and having her here at the library too. Maybe we'll ask her if she would come visit us, or maybe we can go visit her and we could do another story time from the zoo. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so let's just keep on putting our peacock eyes on the end of the feather. Here, I'll just do a couple of them at once so we could just pop them on there. Oh yeah. So it's April. What are you going to do for Earth Day this year? Are you going to plant a garden? Are you going to do more recycling? I know, here's one. How about if we all use a little less plastic? Oh, that's always a good idea. Yeah, I try to not use so much plastic, but it's hard because it's everywhere. And it's so convenient. But it's getting into the oceans, and it's a lot of critters in the ocean thinks that it's food, and it's not good for them. And it's not good for the health of the ocean either, just in general. So just be mindful of that as you grow up, and just say no to plastic if you can. So what does that look like? That looks pretty good, doesn't it? I wonder, let's see what it looks like when I put the body on. Whoa, look at that peacock. Isn't that pretty? What are we going to do for that? I was thinking about maybe taking a little glue stick and putting some glue stick around the edge up here. Why, you ask? Because you'll see in a minute what is going to go on. You're not even going to believe it, that Miss Adaria is going to use this stuff after she just lectured you about not using plastic. But we're going to take a little glitter. Ooh. And we're going to sprinkle some glitter onto the glue stick, just to give our peacock that extra little something. Look how sweet that is. And then you can take your extra glitter and put it on there. Whoa, look at our peacock. It's looking really fancy. And here you can even do a little bit of peacock fanciness. Let's see which the best part of this one to use is his face. We'll do a little bit of peacock fanciness up here. And we'll come in with this color. Oh, this is special glitter. Now, it might be a little hard for this stuff to stick to the glue stick, so feel free to use your fingers and tap that stuff down. And it should stick wherever you put the glue stick. All right, look at that fancy, fancy peacock we're making. Get that glitter out of the way. And I think that, what do you think we should do for eyes? Maybe we should we cut out some felt and have little yellow eyes for our birdie? We're going to just take a little tiny piece of felt here. And their eyes aren't that terribly big, so we'll just do a little one peacock eye. Just round this off a little bit, and another peacock eye. And then we could take a little glue. We have some glue on the top of this thing from trying to squeeze it out. We'll put our peacock eye. Their eyes are on the sides of their head, pretty much. So they could see what's coming all around them, like any other bird. Except for herons, right? Remember? Because the herons, even though their eyes look like they're looking at you, they're really kind of forced downward so they could see what they're hunting. And, I know what we could do. We could do a little, here, how does that shape? I'm going to try to do a little beak, a little peacock beak. So I'm going to make a triangle. I'm going to fold it over. Maybe something like that. Get a little glue on my beak. And see if that stays. If not, you might have to hold it for a little while. And all your glitter's falling off. I'm looking at the picture. Now, I know peacocks have like little top feathers. Maybe something fancy. You could come in here with a piece of this paper and just sort of cut it a little bit so it sort of resembles those little feathers up top. And then cut it across the bottom. Take some glue. Oh no, take a piece of tape because it's curved. It's probably not going to stay very well. You can fan them out a little bit. And then tape it inside right here. And this is the fanciest peacock I've ever seen made out of a toilet paper roll and a paper plate. And then you could slip it on like this. And there is your peacock. I don't have any other critters to help me comment on the job that I did with this peacock, but I think it looks awesome. Oh, hold on now. Something fell off. See what happened? Here, we'll just go back in there. We'll glue that back up. There is your fancy peacock. Oh, you can name him. You could give him as a present to your favorite person. You could keep it on your shelf in your bedroom and just look at it and admire it forever. So thank you so much for joining us today, everybody. We really appreciate your time and crafting with Miss Adaria. We hope you enjoyed this craft. I'm having a blast. I would just like to keep working on this peacock forever. So until next time, please stay safe, have a lot of fun. Tune in again next week. And happy Earth Day, happy Easter, happy April, everybody. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right. Woo! Look at this peacock. I can't believe it.